Before we get into this episode, I want to say something first. My stroke happened in 2020, and honestly, I haven't talked about it publicly very much. For a long time, I was focused on recovery, physically, mentally, and emotionally. But during Stroke Awareness Month, I realized that maybe it's finally time to share more of the journey and some of the lessons that came from it. So today, this conversation is personal. What's going on, everyone? This is Mark Parham, and welcome back to the Entrepreneurial Edge. You know, this platform has always been about real conversations, about business, about life, about what it really takes to keep going when things don't go as planned. Today, this one is personal because May is Stroke Awareness Month. I'm just speaking from a distance. I'm speaking from personal experience. A few years ago, I experienced a stroke, and let it be clear, a stroke is a major stroke. It caused complete paralysis on the left side of my body. I was dealing with cognitive challenges and other physical issues that challenged how I function day to day. And during that time, I had to have assistance with the most basic tasks, eating, walking, even going to the bathroom. And in that moment, everything changed. One day I was moving, building, leading. The next, I was trying to figure it out. How to walk again, how to balance, how to trust my own body. And what people don't always realize is that moment is just the beginning. Recovery is not just physical, it's mental, it's emotional, it's daily. There are days when your body doesn't cooperate, days where progress feels slow or invisible, or sometimes like you're going backwards. And when you're dealing with paralysis, cognitive changes, and physical limitations, you start asking yourself, can I still lead? Can I still build? Can I still be who I was before? But through that experience, I learned something powerful. Actually, I learned three things that change how I look at life: leadership and resilience. First, resilience. Resilience is a daily decision, not something you feel, something you choose every single day. There were days I didn't feel strong, days I didn't feel motivated, but I had to decide, am I going to keep going anyways? That's what resilience really is. Second, slowing down doesn't mean stopping. Before my stroke, everything was about speed. After my stroke, I had to slow down. And that was hard, but I learned something. You can slow down and still move forward. You can adjust your pace and still build something meaningful. And third, your situation does not define your future. A stroke changes your reality, but it doesn't have to define your outcome. Yes, I experienced paralysis. Yes, I dealt with cognitive and physical challenges. Still dealing with some, but I made a decision. This moment is part of my story, but it's not the end of it. So whatever you're dealing with right now, health, business, life, this applies to you. So if you're listening right now and you're dealing with something that's slowing you down, something that's forcing you to adjust, I want you to hear this clearly. You can still move forward. Maybe not the same way, maybe not at the same pace, but forward is still possible. Now let's talk awareness, because this matters. Recognizing the signs of a stroke can save a life. Remember FAST, F-A-S-T, face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty. Time to call 911. Don't wait, time does matter. Today I moved differently. Some days are harder than others, but I'm still here, still building, still leading, still showing up. If there's one thing I want you to remember, resilience is a daily decision. Slowing down doesn't mean stopping, and your situation does not define your future. If this message hit you, if it made you think, if it made you reflect, just don't listen, take action. You can go to Amazon and search for Mark Parham, Mark spelled with a C. Get the book, read The Journey, and start applying these lessons to your life. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, please share this with them today. This is Mark Parham, and this is The Entrepreneurial Edge. And remember, even in the storm, you can still move forward.